Hello world, welcome back to my channel. I am Sahil and we are developing e-commerce project using Laravel. And in previous video you already watched full demo of the project. Now this is the second video of the series in which I am going to install Laravel 10 framework and also create models and migration for this project. Okay, so let's start. So first open browser and here I will open laravel.com. Click on get started and click on this installation and then click on this creating a Laravel project. Okay, so here you can see composer command. You can directly use this composer command to install a fresh copy of Laravel framework. Okay, however you can also use this Laravel installer command first, then you can use this simple command to install a Laravel 10 framework. Okay, so in my case I have already installed this Laravel installer in my system, so I'm going to use this command to download a fresh copy of Laravel 10 framework. Okay, so let's minimize this and open terminal wherever you want to download the Laravel 10 framework. So I will download in my desktop. So here I will write Laravel space new and the name of the project. So I will write e-commerce and just hit enter. Now in latest version of Laravel it will ask some question. So here it is asking, would you like to install a starter kit? So I'm not going to install any starter kit, so I will write none and hit enter. Now it is asking which testing framework do you prefer, so I will select 0 for PHP unit. And it is asking, would you like to initialize a Git repository? Yes, I will initialize this project with a Git repository and press enter. Now it will download the Laravel 10 framework. It will take some time depending on your internet connection speed, so let's wait. Now here you can see it is asking for the last question, which database will your application use? So by default MySQL is selected, but I will use SQLite instead of MySQL. However, you can use any database like MySQL or MariaDB. I will use SQLite. Now here you can see the framework, Laravel 10 framework installation has been finished. So here I will first go to the project directory and then I will open this project in my Visual Studio. So here you can see this is the project directories, all files. Okay, now let me first run this project using php artisan serve command. Now go to your browser and open a localhost :8000. Okay, so this is the welcome page of Laravel 10 framework. Okay, here you can see the version of Laravel is 10.44.0 and my PHP version is 8.1.6. okay, now let's come back to VS Code. Now next I will create a model and migration for this e-commerce project. Okay, so let's open a new terminal here. Okay, so first I will generate all models and migration which will be used in this project. So here I will write php artisan make :model. Okay, to create a model you have to write php artisan make :model and space then the name of the model. Okay, so I will write category model. Along with model I will also generate a migration file. So for this you can use -m flag to generate migration along with the model. Okay, so now hit enter. Now you can see two files has been created. If you go to this apps directory, then this models directory, then here you can see this is category.php file, and if you go to this database directory and then this migration directory, then this is the migration file of this categories category model. Okay, now similarly like this we will first create all the model and migration. So let's now create model brand and migration. Now create another product, hit enter. Now create another, that is order, hit enter. Now create another order item. Okay, order item, hit enter. Now create one more address. Okay, so our all models has been created and all the migration files are also created. Now let's close this terminal. So I will define the migration one by one. So let's first open category migration, and here first I will write table string name. Okay, now next I will use table string slug, and this will be unique, so just write unique. And then I will also use table, and then I will use string, then image, and here I will use nullable for this column. And one more is table boolean, and is active, and by default will be true. Okay, so these are all the columns of categories table. Okay, now open brands migration, and here similar like categories, we will define some columns for brands table, name, slug, image, and is active. Okay, now open products migration, and here I will define all the columns for products table. Okay, so here first I will use table for an ID, and I will use category ID, and in constraint I will use categories table, and here I will use cascade on delete. Okay, similarly here I will use for an ID for brand underscore ID for brands table, and on and I also use cascade on delete here. Okay, now next I will use name column, and then slug column which will be unique, and I will also use table JSON field, and this will be images. Okay, and by default I will use nullable, and then description. So here I will use long text description and nullable. And now price, so I will use decimal type and price. And next I will use boolean, some booleans. Column is active, by default true. Okay, now next I will use table boolean, and is featured, and by default it will be false. And next table boolean in stock, by default it is true. And one more, table boolean on sale, by default it will be false. So is active and is featured, in stock, and on sale, all these 4 columns are boolean type. Okay, save this. Now our products migration file is done. Now open another, this is the order migration. So now here I will define columns for orders table. Okay, so first I will create a foreign ID on users table. So here we have to write users underscore ID, and I will also use cascade on delete. And then I will use table, and then here I will use decimal, and I will use grand total, and which will be nullable by default. And next column will be table string, and this will be payment method, and this will be nullable by default. And then table, sorry, this is not a line string, this is a string type, so just write string. Okay, now here I will use table string, and here I will write payment status by default nullable. And then I will use table status, sorry, I will use enum type, and in this is basically order status. Okay, so just write status, and we will use new, you can use pending here also, new processing, and then shipped, delivered, and cancelled. Okay, and by default will be pending, new. Okay, now next column will be table string currency. By default I will use INR, or let's keep it nullable by default. Okay, and then next table decimal shipping amount, this will be nullable. And then table string shipping method, this is also nullable. And last one is notes, so table text notes, and by default it will be nullable. So user ID, okay, user ID, grand total, payment method, payment status, and order status, currency, shipping amount, and shipping method, and notes. Okay, so all done for this orders migration. Now now let's open order items table migration. Now in this table we will keep some columns, like we will first use a foreign ID, which will be order_id on orders table, and we will also use another foreign ID for product, so just write product ID constraint on products table. Okay, and then I will use quantity, and by default let's keep 1, and then I will use decimal, and here I will write unit underscore amount, and this will be nullable by default. And here I will use total underscore amount, this will be also nullable. So orders item table migration has been completed. Now open this address migration file, and let's define all the columns for this table. So first table foreign ID order underscore ID, and then constraint on orders table, and cascade delete. Okay, now next I will use table string, and then here I will write first underscore name, which will be nullable by default, then last name by default nullable. Then I will use not email, I will use string, and then phone, by default it will be nullable. And then table table text. Here I will write street underscore address, okay, and then city, then state, not country, state, and then okay, zip underscore code. Okay, so these are all the fields of this address table. So all our migration file is ready. Now close all file. Now let's open the model one by one and define some properties and define the relationship. Okay, so I will first open this category model. Okay, and inside this what I will do is just use protected fillable property, and here if you open the migration, then you have to use all the column names in the fillable property. So name slug, I think it have no description column, so just remove description, and it have also no parent ID, I think. Yes, instead it has image, and one is active. So these are the columns: name slug image is active, name slug image is active. Okay, and in category model I will define one relationship, which is product. So a category contains multiple products, that's why I have written public function products and written this has many products. Okay, now this is completed. Now go to brand.php file. Similarly, like category, I will first define protected fillable, and all the columns are same: name slug image is active. Now here also I will define relationship with the products table, because if you open this products, then you can see there are two foreign ID, one for category ID, one for category and second one for brand. That's why here in brand and category I am defining products which belong to which may have multiple products. So a brand contains multiple products. Okay, that's why here I have defined has many relation. Now this is also completed. Now open product.php file. Okay, and here first I will define protected fillable property, like name slug description images. So it's all wrong. Let's here define one by one. So first it will be category ID, okay, and then brand ID, and then name, then slug, then images, then description, price, is active, is featured, and in stock, and on sale. That's it. Now here I will use properties cast. Okay, so if you go to this product migration, then here you can see I have used JSON field. Okay, JSON field. So here in product I will cast images into array, and now let's define the relationship with the category model. Okay, so this product belong to category model. Similarly, a product will also belong from brand model. Okay, and also a product can belongs to order items. Okay, so here I will write public function order items, and then here I will return this has many order item class. Okay, so all the relationships are now defined in product.php file. Now let's open order.php file. Now here first I will define fillable property. Okay, so just make sure all the correct, like user ID. So let me remove all, and here first I will use user ID, then grand total, and then payment method, then payment status, then currency, then shipping amount, shipping method, and then final notes. Okay, now in orders model we will define some relationship. Okay, if you open this orders migration, then here you can see I have used one foreign ID which is on users table. Okay, so let's close this and go to orders.php file, and here first I will define a relationship with user. Okay, so public function user belongs to user class. Okay, so one order belongs to a specific user. Okay, and a user can have multiple orders. Okay, and next I will use public function items, and here I will return this has many order items. So a order contains multiple items, so that's why we have to define this relationship here. Okay, now an order also can have one address. Okay, so here I will write public function address, and here I will define has one. So here I will write address model. Okay, order item address, user, items, and address. So all done. Here let's go to order item model, and here first I will define fillable property. Okay, and in fillable property order ID is correct, product ID is correct, quantity, and here I will write unit amount, and total amount. Okay, now we have to define the reverse relationship. So every order item belongs to one order, so here we have to write public function order return this belongs to order class. Okay, similarly every order items have one product belongs to one product, so we have to write public function product and belongs to product class. Okay, so this is also completed. Now open last one, that is address.php file, and here first we will define the fillable product fillable. So here let me check. So it's correct, order ID, first name, last name, I think email is not, so just remove, phone, and not address, street underscore address, city, and state, and then zip underscore code. Okay, save. Now we have to define the inverse relationship. So every order have only one address, that's why here we have to define public function order return this belongs to order class. Okay, now here one thing I will use public function get full name attribute. Here I will create a attribute to combine the first name and last name to get full name. Okay, so that's all about model and migration. Now in next upcoming videos we will first see how to develop admin panel using Filament PHP version 3. So to get notified on latest video uploads, you can subscribe my channel. See you soon in next video.